David Fortier with Talking Bristol. If you like what we're doing, once again, you could always follow us on Facebook, check out our YouTube channel, and subscribe to our newsletter on bristoledition.org. Of course, if you would like to support local journalism, local news, you can always make a contribution. We really appreciate that, and that helps us not only to afford some of the equipment that we're using here, but also our goal is to be a self-sustaining operation, a viable business, and that means employees. And we are really excited about getting to the point where we can hire people. In addition, by the time you see this on Tuesday, you will have seen our new website. It will go up on Friday prior to this, and we hope that makes your online experience more pleasurable and enjoyable. You can always, if you have some thoughts about how you'd like to see that work, you can always email editor@bristoledition.org. So here we are with our guest, Christopher Nicastro. He is the son of, we are in Bristol, so we have to do the whole family kind of thing. It's we're all part of a legacy and a history.
Certainly.
So his mom and dad are Michael and Colleen Nicastro. His sister is Sarah. And he is he's a writer and he is a filmmaker. And it's interesting because he is in Bristol this week and last week, working on his latest project, which is a film called American Chestnut. And you can tell us a little bit about that. And what's kind of fun for me is that I actually have a small role.
You do.
And if it doesn't land on the cutting room floor or whatever the digital equivalent is, I might be there. I might be on
you will.
On the screen.
You certainly will. Yeah. There's no way to cut around it. So yeah.
That's great. So Chris, welcome. And tell us a little bit about, your Bristol connections and then some of your school.
Yeah. I was born here. I went to Bristol Central, went to Chippens Hill Middle School, went to Bingham. Rest in peace.
I know, yeah. It's a very, very nice, apartments right now.
I know, yeah.
I like them very much.
Yeah, they took the playground down though, but
yes,
yeah. But yeah, no. Grew up here my whole life. Moved out when I went to college. I've been in New York for about 10 years now, but James Joyce had to leave Dublin to write about Dublin. So,
yeah. Well, are you wearing shoes that are 2 sizes too small?
No. Usually they're too big because I have small feet. So.
Yeah. But that was Joyce's little homage to, Actually, that was Samuel Beckett wore shoes.
I think that was, yes,
it was Samuel
right.
Beckett who wore the shoes that were too small. Yeah. So I got to get my writers.
Basically the same.
Who all left? Yeah. They all left Ireland to do that. Now, the Irish connection is, your mom's name is Colleen.
Correct. Yeah.
So there has to be the Irish connection.
Of course.
There.
Yeah.
Yes.
Naturally. Yeah.
Where did you go to college?
I went to Fairfield University, so stayed in Connecticut, but very soon after moved to New York and started working in film and advertising.
So a Jesuit education.
A Jesuit education.
What did you think of that? I think very highly of the Jesuits.
They're kind of just like Catholics who party, but which is
everyone's going to want to go to Fairfield now. Boston College, move over.
It's like, what if priests liked to drink beer is kind of their whole thing, I guess. It's people always bring that up, but I'm like, I guess it was there. And it's funny because my sister went to St. Matt's for K-8. I avoided that, luckily. Mm-hmm. But it was because of my birthday, I would have had to stay back an extra year. So my parents were like, shove them into public school.
Yep. That's an interesting experiment you have going on in your family.
But then it was like, it's sort of strangely, she went to state school and then I went to a Catholic college. So it was we kind of flip-flopped at the end there. So, yeah.
Wow. That's pretty terrific. Kind of fun knowing that. So in your, right now in your career, you said you did some content creation, or were you because I have over here, you've done work for Target, Harry's, American Express, Titleist, and Intuit. I love the Intuit piece. And on his website, if you go to his website, which is
Christopher Nicastro.
You can see some of the work that he's done in both film and also in your
My day job.
your day
Yeah,
job, your
yeah.
day job.
The
Yes.
advertising. Yeah. Mostly that's just producing. It's like, it's funny because it's, it's what you do for a living, but not to
Yeah.
it's horrendously boring, I will
Yeah,
say.
yeah,
But
yeah, yeah.
but yeah, it's just that part doesn't come into play a lot. I think mostly when I'm working on that stuff, my mind is elsewhere, and which
Yeah.
is why I'm here doing what I am doing now. So
Yeah, which we will get
Yeah.
to. I mean, it's the artist, the whole concept of the artist is someone who's otherworldly, can't hold a day job. I don't think that's actually an accurate picture, because to be able to do what you do, you have to show up,
yeah,
and there's a large commitment to what you
Yeah.
have to do.
I think film in general is just like a completely different beast in terms of that. Like, you basically have to, like, I don't know, yeah, like a writer, you can do that whenever. You can just lay down and do it, and you can just kind of be a layabout all day. But filmmaking is like, okay, your call time 6 a.m. You got to show up and do your job, or else the whole place is screwed. So yeah,
And it's a team.
and it's a team.
I mean, from my experience, we did the filming over at the Bristol Historical Society.
Yeah.
And then later that night, I saw you over at Muzzy Field, which I thought was really interesting, because as I walked through the gates, and I wrote about this in my column, there were 2 signs up saying that if you show up here today, when you walk through this gate, you agree to be filmed.
Yes.
And
Correct.
recorded. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was, so you did that there, and that was just to get some, what do you call that? What was that? Is that B-roll or
B-roll? We did some B-roll nights, but in this case, we were, so our lead actor was mic'd up, and the reason we had those signs was he was going up to people in character and like getting real conversations. So we're kind of like cobbling together an opening credit sequence of like exposition of him talking to real people, and they just have no idea that they were in a movie. But
wow, that's it though. All right, so let's talk about it. So the name of the film is American Chestnut. So give us the synopsis.
Yeah, the basic pitch is someone who is from Bristol. He is a pro baseball player. He kind of has one last ditch effort to revitalize his pitching career in Japan, and that doesn't work. And he comes home to Bristol, and he's like, I'm giving up baseball. I'm not talking about baseball, not thinking about baseball. And then he becomes obsessed with a pitcher in the local summer league. So with a Bristol Blues pitcher, and becomes his friend, and kind of takes him under his wing. And that younger pitcher is like, well, I don't really want to go pro. That's not really my thing. And he's like, well, like, you like have it. And kind of tries to convince him, like, you need to go pro. Yeah. And that sort of tension between, the 2 opposing sides of what each actually wants. So
so it's a classic American genre. It's sports.
Yeah,
it's a sports film.
Sports. It's comedy. It's a summer movie.
Yeah. So it's that's
Yeah.
right. So 2 things. People really kind of like to draw the line. You're talking about Bristol, a Bristol Blues player, but you're making a movie that is fiction.
Yes.
So how do you distinguish between the 2? And I mean, even legally, I mean, it's like, people would say you're using Bristol, but actually in the fiction world, there is a Bristol that exists.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Exactly. And I mean, I guess, I mean, it's just, I've always been drawn to work that like blurs the line between fiction and reality. I've always been drawn to like highly biographical work, novels like, Henry Miller. There's so much of like, is he making this up? Is this real? Is this, films where, non-actors are present very, very frequently. Like the Safdie brothers do a lot of that. They do a lot of just like street casting and just hidden camera, and kind of blending those 2 mediums together. And I've always just found that to be a fascinating way to approach just filmmaking in general, just like letting real life bleed into fiction. Yeah. So.
Yeah, because we talk about writing fiction, you know, verisimilitude. I mean, you've got to make it lifelike, or people aren't going to buy it. But it's not lifelike. But it's not life.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's pretty terrific. So on Hitterish, your Substack, you talk a little bit about what went into the financing for this particular film.
Right.
You started thinking about this a long time ago.
It was a long road. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
So how long ago was that?
Well, I wrote the first draft of the script in 2012. Like, I think it was the summer of COVID, basically. And looking back on that, it was like a completely different movie, basically. Yeah, it was like twice the length. It was, I think it was like 150 pages. There were like act breaks that were like just about certain characters that like diverted, and it was just a completely different movie at the time. And it wasn't until 2 years later that a friend of mine who's an actor who lives in Connecticut, just on a whim, we decided to like shoot some test footage of Muzzy Field, just like B-roll. Like we just drove up from New York, and we were like, well, there's some games this weekend. Let's go shoot some test footage to show financiers. And like, when we got there, we were like, let's call up Billy and see like if he wants to be in character just at the field. And so we did. We put a lav mic on him, and we were just like, be this guy from the script and go up to random people and just talk to them and have conversations with them. And from there, the script kind of changed entirely. It really honed in on like who this guy is, and like this kind of pathetic loser who's just so lonely and just like in need of a friend, and like, was drafted to the big leagues out of high school. And then, all of his friends grew up, but mentally he's still 17. From there, so that was 4 years ago, we were like looking for the money, and pretty soon after that we thought we almost had it. And then that executive producer pulled out, and then somebody else came in and they pulled out. Just filmmaking, like 90% of it is just people saying no to you. And or people promising you money and then like just never answering you after they promised the money. So that's like 90% of my life is just being told no. And then the other 10% is just 18-hour days of stress. So
fun time.
It's really fun. Yeah. Everybody should do it for sure. Yeah.
That's right. Well, it obviously keeps you thin. So
yes.
Yeah. So that's that whole thing. So that now you have some funding to do that kind of thing.
Yeah. So we made it through. Like, we're a week away from finishing principal photography, but basically we raised enough to get through principal, and then it's going to go right back to being told no every other day to finish the movie in post-production. But
right. Oh, I get it. So so the peek inside the world. So it's for this finance, you got to do it. You need the money to do it. You have to go out and ask people who you got to sell it to.
Exactly. Yeah.
And so that's something. So now you finish the filming, and then you'll go into post-production.
Post-production. Yeah. Right.
And so say this comes to fruition, and where does it go? Then you offer it, and someone one of these different platforms purchases it, or purchases the rights to it.
I mean, that's usually for something of this size, it's like you bring it to festivals, and usually at a festival a distributor buys it. That's a whole thing that is beyond my purview. We did it once before on something much smaller even than this, which is hard to believe that it's much smaller even than this. But but we sold a film about like 7 years ago, and that was my first film.
That's
and
6
weeks to 12 years.
12 years.
And
is that available somewhere right now?
I don't know if it still is. Our like contract ran out with the distributor, and I chose not to renew it because I was like, let's find some, and I don't want to trash anybody, but, but I was like, let's find somebody else. But so
okay, so those things happen. I suppose if you publish a book, it's the same thing. If the publisher doesn't do good by you, you're going to move on to
let it roll out of print.
Let it roll out. Yeah, absolutely. So okay, some other fun things over there. So on your website, again, you have your Substack, which is Hitterish. Where'd that come from?
I was just trying to think of a fun sporty word.
Yeah.
I think.
Do you like baseball? Is that
Oh my
why-
God. Yeah. Baseball is, I mean, I wouldn't be making, I mean, this movie is like entirely about
Yeah. No,
how
yeah.
much I love baseball,
Yeah.
basically. So yeah, oh my God. I just
Yeah.
obsessed with baseball.
Did
Yeah.
you play Little League baseball?
I played at McCabe Waters Little League. Yeah,
Cape
sure
Waters,
did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's your coach?
Who was my coach? Oh God. Well, my next door neighbor, Alan Godbout, was one of my coaches.
Alan.
Yeah.
Yeah. I grew up with the Godbout, so
Yeah.
Alan's a little bit younger than I am.
Yeah.
Younger than your dad.
Yep.
Yeah. Right. So Alan Godbout. My God. Hi, Alan. Yeah. So baseball. Yeah. Well, I mean, in Bristol, it's hard not to love baseball.
Right.
With Muzzy Field and,
Yeah.
and all our little leagues and things. And right now in town with Giamatti, we have the East Regional
Mhm.
tournament going on, and
Yeah.
the Bristol girls are the state champs.
Yeah.
And they are they're in the finals for the East region, for the New England region.
Right.
And they're playing tomorrow at noon.
Wow.
Well, you guys will miss that because this is coming out afterwards.
Right.
We may have champions, from Bristol or going back to Williamsport or on their way there. So so you had some interesting titles on your that you
Yes.
worked on. All right, now you had a couple of short stories, Christmas
Yes.
Village and,
Yes.
and Bucket.
Right.
All right. And that's the typical, you're starting out as a writer, you're submitting things, you're getting rejections, you're submitting things,
Yeah.
you're getting rejections. And so I'm guessing, were those like one time you got them out and in and they were good, or is it?
Yeah, no, that's those are two stories. I mean, it's funny, fiction for me is like just kind of whenever I have downtime, I don't really take it. I mean, I try to take it seriously, I guess,
Mhm.
but as seriously as any other art form, but
Yeah, you're telling a story.
Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
But yeah, no, that's more just like it's there. It's funny because I don't really think of it as any kind of like body of work or anything. It's
Mhm.
just did it. It's just there.
there.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, and it's great you're able to do that, because I think in American society in particular, the value of art is different from it is in different societies.
Mm.
And to be able to persist takes someone very special.
Yeah.
So you're doing this to your credit. So I admire you for that.
Well, thank you.
Yeah. So you have these these other scripts. You have
Yes.
The Witchcraft Delusion and The Last Lecture of Dr. Frankenstein. I'm very partial. I taught high school for a while, and we did we taught Frankenstein.
Yeah.
So that's so what's the twist on The Last Lecture of
So
Dr.
the
Frankenstein?
twist on that is it's basically it's a road trip buddy comedy. And the only reason I'm actually here right now is because the funding for that fell through. We
Oh,
actually,
no kidding.
on a much larger scale,
Yeah.
We were working with a producer to develop that project, and like we had begun to like put things into motion to like shoot that in like Hungary.
Wow.
And
Yeah.
it just fell apart, didn't
Yeah.
really come to, but that's always the back pocket. It's it's hard to see the leap from a weepy sentimental baseball movie in Connecticut to like a romp genre, but yeah.
So I mean, we have to distinguish that the monster in Frankenstein
Yes.
is Frankenstein's monster, not Dr. Frankenstein.
Correct. Well, no.
Yeah.
So that one, he is the doctor, but it's it's. So this is I didn't think I was going to talk about this today.
Yeah. Well, because the only image I get is I get Peter Boyle,
Right.
and from
Yeah.
Young Frankenstein,
Right.
And,
Yeah. So in this case, I feel like the monster is more like Shrek than anything. Yeah. It's like a buddy comedy where the hunchbacked assistant has to take the monster to a lecture.
So Marty
and it's-
Feldman and
basically.
Peter Boyle are
But basically, the hunchbacked assistant tonally is kind of Woody Allen in this. It's basically Broadway
He's
Danny
whiny
Rose,
and-
kind of plot line. It's kind of Broadway Danny Rose, yeah. So yeah,
Well, I'm glad you brought that up, because I'll
Yeah.
have fun just thinking about that. So I had a fun time as someone who who writes myself. I do poetry and fiction, and I've been dabbling in some, some one act plays and things like that. I noticed the process, for the individual writer, as opposed to what you do. Yours is really it's a team of a lot of people get together. And even I noticed when I was doing my lines and things like that, there were things that were happening that happened when I'm writing.
Yeah.
But this was actually happening among the people who are the acting and then the crew and then you and
Right.
encouraging that kind of thing. So you were constantly looking inside your little monitor. Your monitor and looking for things. So what so a couple of things when you're how do you have a script and you don't mind at all diverging from that. And then you have your monitor. So what are you looking for when the monitor? So two things, diverging and the creative aspect of that. It incorporates all the talent. And then also, what are you looking at when you look in the monitor?
Looking to see if anybody left a coffee cup where it shouldn't be. I'm looking to
believe me, that happened.
It happened
really a lot.
At a certain point, it's like, well, it takes place in New England, so if there's a stray Dunkin' cup, then it's just got to stay. But that's fine as long as it stays where it is and doesn't move around. I mean, just it's hard to say what you're looking for. It's it when you see it. It's just getting an interesting composition, I guess. Just trying to make sure that everything looks natural, everything looks right and in order, trying to picture how this little shot that's in the monitor is going to connect with the last shot you did and the next shot that you're going to do, and how it's going to all come together in the edit. Because that's really the thing is, formally, I came up as an editor, basically, in the industry. And I've always felt that editing is the best skill that a filmmaker can have in their pocket, because so much, editing is just the whole thing. You're fooling people into believing that something is actually happening that isn't actually happening, and trying to connect two different shots to make it all seamless. And if you don't know how to do that, you're setting yourself up for failure when you're actually on set, because you just got to know how one thing is going to connect to the next. So you
are keeping that all inside as you are composing this, really,
as best as you can.
It's almost like you're orchestrating this, or however it is, to fit that vision that you have
as best as you can. You experienced the absolute tedium of that process, which is say the same thing 100 times. And just, and the only difference is just the camera's here now. The camera's here now. Say it again. The camera's here now. It's just, you say it over and over again. It's like, well, the camera can't be here. It's got to be here now. And it's got, so it is the clunkiest, most unintuitive medium that there possibly is. And it is so stressful, and it is so people say it, but every single movie is an absolute miracle. I just the effort that it takes on every single person, especially with a crew as small as we have. But as you scale up, even it becomes even more muddled. I can't even believe that this is an art form that exists, because it's just not doable.
Wow. And so you're attracted to it. And still you make it happen. And that's
I think the trade-off is that when a movie is good, it's the most visceral, powerful experience you can have in art. It takes so many people to make it actually work.
So give me an example of a scene you think that really works in someone else's work, or in your work.
In someone else's work, any number of them, I guess. But you have to be a student. You're a student. Of course I am. Okay. So a movie that came out this year that really got me fired up, and just being I still believe in that movies matter, is the movie Nirvana, the band, the show, the movie. Are you familiar with it? I'm not familiar with it. So basically, 20 years ago, there was this web series called Nirvana, the band, which is just, they never acknowledge the fact that this band is called Nirvana and that there ever is a popular band
Right.
named Nirvana. It's just two guys, and they're kind of like a comedy duo basically, but they are just like completely talentless. And the whole setup of every episode is they try to get a show at this local bar, which is like a very easy place to get a show at.
I love it. This is just really.
They just have harebrained schemes how to how to come up with like, it's like a sitcom sort of like, how are we going to get a show at this place? And then so it had like a cult following for many years, and they finally made a movie version of this show. And what they did was that I found so fascinating was they took archival footage from 20 years ago, because the plot of the movie involves time travel. And so they wrote around existing archival tapes they had of themselves.
Mm-hmm.
They wrote dialogue around those to interact with younger versions of themselves. And it's completely seamless. Yeah. Like the first time I watched it, I didn't realize that's how they did it. I was like, oh they did the Scorsese de-aging thing clearly, because there's no way that they would have this specific dialogue conversations with themselves. Like they did this is like VFX. This is somehow they made this happen and look good, but no, they just wrote it around what they already have, which is also just kind of what I try to do with anything, which is just when you're working with a low budget, just what is around you. Like, don't write your scripts to things that you don't have access to, because you're going to screw yourself over. It's going to be like, how am I going to do that now? And, you know, everything in this script is just stuff that exists in Bristol or exists in my parents' basement. So
it's still there, right?
Still there. They never threw anything out, and they basically were, they didn't realize they were a prop warehouse for an entire movie. So
that's terrific. So when we go through this, is this something that you always thought you would do? Is this like a thing that is just gonna happen? I mean,
a thing that is gonna happen. Like, what do you mean?
I mean, I think like you were going to do this work. You were going to do some film work, or
like when I was a kid. Do you mean? Yeah. I mean, I think like anyone my age, it's just like the camcorder comes into the house, and then like you're like, that's mine. You know what I mean? The other thing is just like I feel like I grew up in a house, and like my grandparents' house as well, where like Turner Classic Movies was on like 24/7. And so I think that was a large influence. I've said like, you know, my dad would always come home with a bag of DVDs from the store, and, you know, now, you know, he maybe unintentionally ruined my life, because now I'd have to take part in the most tedious art medium there is, where you're just begging for money your entire life. I mean,
it really is tough. So again, influences, teachers, books you read, movies you've seen.
Teachers, movies I've seen. Like what are we?
In Bristol,
specifically Bristol.
Bristol.
Gail Dickow.
Gail, yes. God rest her soul.
Yeah, I know. I heard
passed
about.
Away.
Yeah,
actually, you might know this, but she was also my teacher.
Really? Well,
yes. And at one point we were colleaguds.
Wow. Yeah. Oh,
Right.
she. Her class was very formative to me for sure. Yeah. Let's see. Mr. Talmadge.
Dave Talmadge.
I
also had him. Yeah. You know, we did. Yes. I had him for a teacher. Yes.
I first read, like, real earth-shattering experience for me was reading Death of a Salesman in his class. And then the next year, my dad took me to see Philip Seymour Hoffman play Willie Loman. That was like life-changing. That was like,
oh, you got it then. Yeah.
I saw that and I was like, I am devoting my life to art. Like
that was that over at Hartford Stage?
No. That was on Broadway. That was on Broadway.
He
That
was
Philip Seymour
big time.
Hoffman. Yeah, and that was Andrew Garfield played Biff. Yeah.
We just had a terrific rendition of Death of a Salesman over at the Hartford Stage.
I heard about that.
It was really, really something.
Yeah,
it was really terrific. But yeah, so that was okay. So that was
Yes.
okay. So that was formative experience going to Broadway.
Certainly. Yeah. Other local things. As far as teachers, I'm trying to think. I took a film class in high school as well, but I was just kind of the snot-nosed kid who'd already seen all the movies. You know what I mean?
Oh, you were just cruising through.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, the
Yeah.
day we did City Lights, I was like, I've seen this. Come on.
Isn't it great being young? And
Yeah.
not that you are still young, but still being
Right.
younger
Yeah,
and having the world all figured out.
right.
Yeah. So that was okay. All right. So how about those Jesuits? Anything happen in those any of those classes right there?
I mean, there, I think the important thing is just like, I don't know, in college, you just meet the people who really become your best friends, you know, your biggest supporters. So yeah, that was what happened with the Jesuits for sure. Yeah.
So some things happen over there.
Yeah, some things happen.
Fairfield's a terrific
Yeah.
school. It really is. And then I mean, what about your exposure? I mean, we talk nowadays, you know, the role of the classics.
Mhm.
I mean, did you read, you know, Euripides? You read, you know, some of the other Aristophanes.
Yeah.
So did that resonate with you at all? Some of those old
A little bit,
Greek
yeah.
plays?
Certainly, you know, Oedipus for sure.
Yeah.
You know, for some reason, both of my movies feature a dead dad. I don't know why that is, but my
Wow,
father's
okay.
very much alive.
Yeah, watch out, Mike.
But, which was funny when I sold the first film. You know, I had a meeting with like the head of the distributor, and I was like, well, what did you like about the movie? And he was like, well, you know, like, my dad's still alive, but I can see how it would have been hard for you. And I was like, it's not biographical. It's so,
Oh, that's so
it's
funny.
like he's alive.
Oh, geez, that's so funny. Oh, God. And then you have a co-writer.
Yes. Yeah. Drew Lang.
Drew
Yes.
Lang,
Correct. Yeah.
And is he an old college classmate, or is he
No,
somebody-
so I met him on my first day on the job at a post-production house as production assistants in New York. My first day in New York, I met him, and he was being all friendly to me, and he said, like, where are you from? What's your life like? And I was like, what's this guy's problem?
Yeah.
Like, this is a run out the clock situation, pal. Let's not talk.
Yeah.
And he became my very best
Yeah.
friend.
Where's
So
he from?
he's from Springfield, Illinois.
All right,
So-
I was gonna say the middle of the
Midwest,
country,
yeah.
Midwest. Yeah, I had an experience in the Midwest. I visited Milwaukee, and I realized then that I am a New Englander
yeah.
because everyone was there so friendly, and it was like they
Oh
wanted
my
to
gosh,
talk, and it was
yeah.
like I can't take this anymore.
Leave me alone.
I just can't do this. It's just,
yeah.
and I said, oh, that's because you're from New England.
Yeah.
This is how we do things. It's not like anyone's better than anyone else. It's just that that's how we interact with people.
Yeah.
Less.
Don't talk to me. I'll call you a witch. It's like, yeah.
Exactly. So we're winding down here. So I just was wondering, do you have any advice to those starting out?
How old are we talking
Yes,
here?
yeah, I'm thinking like, I mean, like, when you were a kid, you had the camcorder and you said, that's mine.
Yeah.
That's a different kind of situation. But say you're at the point where you think this is something that I really like and I might want to do this. So
Yeah.
I've got some experience already.
Right.
I haven't really beat my head up against the wall.
Yeah.
To try to make this thing happen. But I'd like to give this a shot in an American society.
Yeah.
Where you got to have a job.
Right.
And it's got to have some prestige because that's a big part of American society.
Yeah.
And so say you're there. I mean, it could be someone who's maybe leaving high school, maybe someone who's in college years or after, but at some point that spark goes on and they've been doing this thing and they're saying, I want to give this a go.
I would say, as far as filmmaking goes, I would say learn to edit, focus on that. I learned that when I was 12 years old. And I think that helped me out more than anything. Get really seriously into editing, learn how a shot connects to another shot. Just watch old movies, watch very old movies, watch silent movies, because they really focused on, the way that things looked and the way that things cut together. I think just focus on things that have endured because they've endured for a reason. And I think that there's a lot of value in things that have endured. So
that's terrific. And I'm thinking about those lines because this conversation never ends when it gets going, but we are going to end.
Yes.
but it's, these are creations.
Yeah.
And so when you say editing, I'm also curious, what kind of platform are you using when you started to do editing?
Oh my God. Back in the day, this is just going to age me. I was using Windows Movie Maker, which I don't even think exists anymore.
I don't think so.
But then when I was like 14, it was like, I finally learned Premiere, which was like, that felt like I opened my eyes to something completely different. But then also when I started working like in the industry, I was like, oh, I didn't know anything. You know what I mean? And then you just completely learn the way that it is done professionally. Yeah. And you really just have your eyes open to a whole new world, which I think is good. I think people who like can get into this type of world, like should be self-starters who can like teach themselves something. And then, you know, later down the line, have a professional show you the real way. You know what I mean? I think it's very valuable to teach yourself something, teach yourself the skills. And there are many different skills that you can possibly learn because there are a million things that can happen on a film set. So, yeah.
Right. Including the coffee cup.
Including the coffee cup.
Yes,
including the errant coffee cup.
Well, Chris, this is terrific for you to take the time out of your busy schedule because I know you've been putting in those long days.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, thank you for
even
coming to set as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
that was really a pleasure. And
yes.
I'm really honored that you would ask.
Yes.
And, that I could be part of that. I mean, it sounds, silly in some ways, but it really is true to be invited into the creative process by someone who has made that investment.
Yeah. Well, you were great. You were absolutely great. You were really funny. So yeah, it's a funny scene. It's a very uncomfortable, funny scene. It felt, we were watching it back. We were like, this feels like a little like Twin Peaks.
I'm very familiar. Yeah. Well, if I can do that, that's great.
Yeah.
All right. That's terrific. Well, thanks for joining us. I really appreciate it. All right. And this once again is David Fortier. This is Talking Bristol with David Fortier. And once again, check out our new website. If you haven't seen it already, it came out on Friday, and this is Tuesday, and we are recording. We're recording live on Wednesday. So check it out. Let us know what you think about it, and also sign up for our newsletter. Follow us on our Facebook page. Check out our YouTube channel. And if you would like to support local news and programs such as this, you can always make a donation, and you can find the donation button on our website, which is bristoledition.org.